Okay. Oh my gosh, what a mess. What a mess. What a mess. Technology making me crazy. All right. Happy Tuesday. And hopefully you guys will be able to find me in the right place. I'm late. I tried to schedule, like pre-schedule the event and link into the event and go live. Did not work. I got error messages and I kept trying. And then I went out to look and had like 5 different lives going. I don't know. So appreciate your patience. Hopefully you guys are going to come back and find me and join me for today's paper crafting class. We're going to have some fun today. Yes? All right. Well, hello. My name is Wendy Lee from CreativeLeeYours.com and excited that you're here in the studio with me for today's paper crafting fun. Yes? Yay, 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 yay. All right. We are going to, hey, Tina, so glad you're here today with us. I'm trying to figure out this technology. I really wanted to schedule it so you guys will get a reminder that I'm going live because I have to set my own reminder, right? Because we lose track of time, we get busy. But that did not work so well. So hopefully everybody's going to be able to find me and join me today. So what do I have for you? I have a super cute, so adorable, but easy fun fold card for you today. Yes, 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 yes. I'll switch the camera over in just a moment. I want to show you behind my head. There's a sneak peek of just a few of the projects that we are making at our Easter Bunny card class to go. So I just sent that out to my email list. I am partnering with my friends on the Makers Mojo team for this class. And there's a kit option, a PDF option only. You can add the bundle if you want, all kinds of choices for you. So hopefully you will join me for that class. Registration ends February 11th. So it's a short turn time. All right, I'm going to switch camera over and let's get started with our crafty fun. Also trying something new here, hoping that this works. Ooh, so far so good, maybe. We will see. I do need to check and see and make sure I don't have sound issues. I am hoping that you guys can hear me. If sound is good or not good, please let me know. I am not sure how this is all going to work. I've got a new computer set up here and oh, I just lost internet. No. Darn it. All right. Well, this will be interesting because I cannot get to comments from my computer that I normally would use. So, all right, Tina, so glad you're here with me. Thank you for letting me know sound is good. I'm not going to be able to see comments, it looks like, because it seems that my device has decided I don't need internet today. So we'll see if I can move that around in just a moment. I want to make sure I'm in camera and that you guys can see me. So, yes, this is working, I think. So this is the project that we're going to make today. And super cute little bunny from the Easter Bunny stamp set. So that's the stamp set I'm featuring. Now this has a punch that goes along with it, but I'm not using the punch today. And then I'm combining this with this fabulous Dandy Designs Designer Series paper that is in our celebration offering. So this is one, I call it level 2 because you've got to have a $100 order before shipping and tax to get this paper. But I'll tell you, oh my gosh, this is a paper stack of 48 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. It is a full stack and it is full of fantastic designs. I would say this is one of the best paper packs that Stampin' Up! Has had in a while. It's just wonderful. It's such great colors, all fun stuff. Oh, good, Jean. I'm so glad you found me. Yeah, I'm trying to do that connection with the event on YouTube and I'm just not getting it to work. So I'll have to reach back out to support and see if, oh, you can see me, like me personally, or you can see my screen of my card. Ooh, curious about that because I'm trying something different. So I don't know about you guys. I have always used a PC and decided I wanted to switch over to Mac. There's a long list and I won't go into that. But this morning I went to connect and my phone popped up and said, would you like to use me as a webcam? So I was like, oh, I'm going to try this. So the only problem is I can't see it on my phone. And since I can't see comments, I don't have a screen to double check that I'm on screen. So this is a little bit interesting today, and I appreciate your patience. Okay, good. You guys are seeing the card. That's the important part. You don't need to see my mug, right? I'm going to see if I can move this computer over. So maybe I can see a little bit from you guys, right? It won't be nearly as convenient as what I normally have set up, but we're going to see if we can make this work so that I can at least double check and make sure I'm in camera, in screen, and that I can see some of your comments maybe a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work. We'll do the best we can, right? This is what happens, technology. My internet has decided to mess with me. That's nice as well. All right, let's get started. Move all this out of the way. Again, this is the project that we're going to be making. See if I can get that in camera. And I'm going to start off with my card-based layers. So this is a really, like I said, this is an easy, fun fold to create. So it's one that not only is it easy to create, I think it's easy for the end user to know how to open it. So we were talking about this weekend. So thank you to all of you that joined us for our Maker's Mojo Creative Escape this weekend. We had a wonderful 2 days of crafty fun. My cup is definitely full with all kinds of great ideas. But one of the questions that came up with Fun Folds is, sometimes it's hard for a recipient. If they're not a card maker, how do they know how to open this? And I think this is one that's really super friendly, right? So even if you're not a card maker, I think it's pretty easy to figure out how to open this particular one. So that's why I'm drawn to this. All right, let's go ahead and start off. After the video, I will go in and make sure I add in all the measurements. Let's see if we can straighten this out a little bit. I will add in all of the measurements and the complete supply list. So if there's anything that you need, you can click right on it, add it to your shopping cart, and then you can make the project on your own, right? All right, so we've got our Calypso Coral card base. So this is gonna be the back of the card, and this is 6 1/4 by 5 1/2. I will have metric measurements as well for this one. So I'm gonna score this at 2 inches, okay? And then I'm going to bring in my Petal Pink layer. So that's the outer card. And it is 6 inches by 4 1/4 is what it's supposed to be. And I am going to score it at 3 inches. We'll see how well I cut. All right, let's get this out of the way. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and fold these. I'm going to use my bone folder to get a nice, good, crisp fold. That's important when you're making fun folds, I think. A good crisp fold makes it function better. It makes it lay down better, and I'm cutting some of these things on a different grain than I would normally when you're cutting them down like this, so it can play with you a little bit. All right, so I've got this nice plaid. Love this. So this has some unexpected color combinations. So you've got your Calypso Coral and Petal Pink, which okay, we can put those together. Those are pretty obvious, but I love the little touch of fresh freesia. So it just is a really, in my opinion, unexpected combination to put together, but I think it's gorgeous. It's just so lively and fresh, right? Okay, so we are going to put this layer down with our Stampin' Seal. Perfect. I'm just going to center it. Nice. And then we've got a narrow strip that we're going to put on this front flap here. So again, I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal. Bring in that little bit of that Petal Pink. Now, I normally like really skinny borders. I left the 1/8 inch border around on this particular project today, which is just changing it up a little from what I do sometimes, right? All right, so then I've got 2 pieces of this floral, and I'm going to have this one open the opposite of how we normally might for a card for this secondary layer here. And we're going to put a piece on the inside flap. Got to bring our design to the inside. Just makes it cute. And our outside flap. Okay. Great. Now, this card base just needs to adhere to this card base. So I'm going to move that flap out of my way. I'm going to put my adhesive down on these layers here. And I'm just going to center this more or less, left to right, top to bottom. Okay, and then that is going to fold right inside there. So super easy, right? A fun fold anybody can do. Good. You guys are liking this so far? Great, 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 great. If you haven't gotten this paper pack, I'm telling you, it is the best paper pack. All right, let's do our inside layer first, and then we'll focus on our focal point and all that we've got going on here, because I've got lots to tell you. All right, so I'm just going to stamp the You're a Friend Like No Other on a piece of white. Let me move this out of the way, bring in my foam pad. So we're using a photopolymer stamp. And we don't have to use a foam pad underneath, but sometimes I like to use one. If I'm using a larger stamp, I would use one. I'm finding that this particular stamp set, I do better if I have the foam pad underneath. So for whatever that's worth. Like it, don't like it, you can choose what works best for you. But I'm finding that I do like having the foam pad for this stamp set. All right, so we're going to go ahead and adhere this to the card inside. So that will go right in there. Easy peasy. Now, you could easily make this into a gift card holder by adding a pocket. So if you extended this and had this fold up, or the designer paper, or you could just adhere a little piece on 3 sides and make a pocket. So lots of different ways that you can change this up a little bit to use it for what you need, right? All right, let's work on our bunny layer here. So I'm going to bring back in the foam pad, and I'm going to put scrap paper on it. This is a little bit of a used scrap paper. And we're going to bring in, so my favorite stylish shapes. I've cut a circle already out of Basic White from the second largest circle. And then I've got a banner. We'll use this in a moment that I've die cut already. Pulling those in. So let's bring in, I'm going to bring in soft suede for my ink and ink up my bunny image. Now, normally I would use Memento Black if coloring with Stampin' Blends. But today I decided to change that up a little bit, and we can kind of talk about that as we go. So Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based markers. So when you stamp with them with a water-based ink pad, like I've just done, you're going to find that it will blur the lines, or it can blur the lines. I wanted a more subtle look on this particular card, and I didn't want that hard black line. So you can see, you can still see the lines. And because this isn't a detailed image, like too crazy detailed, I felt like this was the right place for me to go on this one. You can do whatever makes you happy, but I was kind of drawn to that. All right, I'm going to start with my ear, my bunny ear. And you're going to notice on Stampin' Blends, if you don't already use these, that one side is a bowl tip and one side is a brush tip. So let me kind of show you what I mean by that. So this is a brush tip. Let's bring back that scrap so you can see what I'm talking about here. And this is going to give you a wider coloring surface, right? You can also use this tip it's really great to color your embellishments or ribbons if you want to change the color of those. I will tell you that over time, this will split. That is part of the nature of Stampin' Blends. I've had a lot of people ask me, how do I get my Stampin' Blends to last longer? The best thing for storage is to store them flat. Don't store them on one end or the other. That way you keep the ink on the inside of the tube equally distributed, so they won't dry out as fast. But as you use them, they are going to dry out because you only have a small amount of ink here. These are not intended to be refillable, right? They're intended at this low price point. You get 2 for $9. And at this low price point, they're considered a consumable supply. So when they dry out, when the tip splits, you replace them. Now, I like to use this brushed, I don't know if I can get the lid off. I like to use the brush tip for coloring embellishments, coloring ribbons, and for splattering. Now, I'll tell you, if you do those things with it, it's going to split faster. So what I do is if I've got colors I'm going to do that with, I just buy a different one for that methodology, right? If you like coloring with the brush tip. I don't actually color with my brush tip. I color primarily with the bowl tip. I've found over time that I do better with that. So it's a much finer line. So you can kind of see it's going to give you a smaller area of ink coverage as you're coloring. I think you have a little bit more control, and I like that I can blend a little easier with it. That's just a personal opinion. All right, so I have taken the dark petal pink and I've colored in his ear. And then I'm going to take the light petal pink and I'm just going to add a smidge of the pink on his cheek. Now I've got to be careful. If I color over the brown, if I color across the brown, it's going to smear it because it's water-based ink and I didn't use the memento. I hope this is making sense, right? If you guys have questions, please let me know. Okay, so then I'm going to color the bunny body as I normally would. So I like to start with the dark blend color and kind of lay in just a little bit of this dark color. And so I'm putting in kind of where I think shadows would be a little bit first, right? On the bottom here, I've seen people outline the whole body, whatever makes you happy, okay? And then I'm going to take my light blend. So this is crumb cake that I'm using, and I'm going to blend this. So I'm going to overlap where I've got the dark color, and I'm going to fill in with the light color. And you can go over it a few times if you need to get it to blend out nicely. I like to use a circular motion when I'm coloring. I feel like it blends it well. Kind of go around that little eyeball, continue to fill in. And I've also found that you really need to give this a moment to dry as you're coloring. So before you decide it's done or not done, give it a moment to dry and look back at it, because I might color this and it be fine or not be fine. And I think maybe I need to do a little bit more, but if I wait a moment, it kind of softens, it dries a little bit lighter than what you're seeing when you first look at it. And I find that the blending actually turns out a little bit nicer than I might have expected if I'm patient with it, right? Now I'm okay if I blend these, soften these outer lines a little bit as I'm coloring this in. So see how that's starting to look really pretty good up there, where we finished that bunny up at the top? And again, just keep going over that, and that will lighten and blend that out. We can soften those lines. Can I go over that a little bit more? Perfect. Just kind of really coloring this in. All right, so that's a pretty cute bunny. I'm pretty happy with that. But I want to show you, as you can see on this one here, I think it comes through okay. It kind of looks a little like he's got fur. So after I colored in my bunny, I was like, how do I make him look like he's got fur, right? So then I went back with my blend, and this is when I'm going to pull in my brush tip. And I'm going to kind of daub it, right? Like kind of thump it a little bit. And I'm doing it lightly, and I'm just randomly, I'm using the dark crumb cake for this. I found it gave a little bit more definition. Now my tip's a little bit blown out because I have used this for splattering, right? So I may just do some little swiping motion on this skinny portion here. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of come in and I'm just daubing in a little bit. So again, really light-handed. This is going to take me a few minutes. And of course, I can come back and do multiple rounds, right? Multiple passes if I want, if I'm not happy with the way it looks as it dries. But again, give yourself some grace here. So I am leaving some light space. I don't know if you guys can see this. And so as it dries, it's going to kind of work itself together. It's going to dry a little lighter than it looks right here. I just thought this was a fun way to kind of add a little bit of texture, right? Now you could do this without coloring at first, but I found for me, my results were better. The appearance of it was better if I colored it first. And the first time I did this, I was a little afraid I was going to make it too dark, right? Using the dark creme cake, but it for me, I was happier with it than the light. And again, my tip's a little bit blown out, so it's kind of doing its own thing. It's got a mind of its own. This is where you have it, your second set of Stampin' Blends, right? One to use for embellishments and coloring and splattering, and then one to actually blend with. So close to done. Starting to lose patience. I don't know about you guys. Okay, so I've got some white spots in there. Let's see if we went back with our light creme cake and kind of did the same thing, if it would help us blend in a little bit. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So it's giving a little bit of darkness in those little whiter spots and helping that blend a little bit. Now this guy might look completely different by the time he dries. Yeah, it seems like it's taking a little too much. Do you guys see what it's doing? So it's taking a little too much of the dark ink off, kind of almost like looking like it's water spotted. So maybe I'm going to come back in and add just a smidge more in this little area that I just did. All right, I'm going to let that sit a bit. Let's go ahead and do the other pieces. We may have to come back and touch it up a little bit more, but you know, we'll see how that goes. Oh, good. You guys are liking this? Hey, Jamie, so glad you're here as well. So I'm going to let this guy dry for just a moment. Let's see what his fur turns out to be. We'll go ahead and stamp our sentiment on our banner. All right, move that out of the way for a moment. So I'm going to bring in this little banner and we're going to do enjoy the moments. We're going to do that in our Calypso Coral. Ink that up. I really should have inked up this pad. I can tell that my dark color, can you guys see it's lighter in the center? I need to re-ink that so that it's a little more even. Now it's really hard for me to see where I'm stamping when I'm on camera. So pretty crooked, but I think we're going to go with it because it's what I got. Maybe it's not that bad. Not the best stamping I could have ever done in my lifetime, though. Oh, that's pretty crooked. Oh, well. That's what happens when you're on camera, of course, right? All right. I also have a die cut piece. So this is the, what's the name of this one? Palms Dies. And I'm stealing this little grassy area from the Palms Dies. It's funny. I think that's the die I use the most out of that one. Let's take a look at our bunny. He's looking pretty good. I'm kind of liking the texture of his fur. I'm going to go ahead and go with that. Bring in my silicone craft sheet as I layer these layers here. So I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue on my grass. And put that down on a circle. There we go. Cute. Now, I want to trim off the excess. I don't want all of this grass. It's a little longer than what I want. My banner's going to cover up some of it, but I'm just going to clip that away, and I'm going to clip that away right there. Why not? And then I can add my sentiment right over the top of that onto my project. So let's go ahead and get our little guy down on our card base, since I'm pretty happy with his coloring at this point. And believe it or not, I'm going to put this down flat because I want to pop up the sentiment, right? And I've got quite a few layers going on here. So let's go ahead and color this, or color it with glue. Good grief, my head. And you can see where the Stampin' Blends bleed through to the back of your paper. That's normal. That's expected. And let's put this guy right here. And hopefully I didn't get my glue too far to the edge. Nope, I did good. Sometimes I get a little too close to the edge. Nice. All right, let's get some dimensionals and put our banner down. And maybe we'll be a little excessive with these. I want this nice and secure. And we're going to put this at this end here, kind of centering it. It's okay if it hangs over that front flap a little bit. I'm all right with that. Nice. So cute. And then I'm going to bring in my fresh freesia ribbon. Just going to tie a bow. So I like to leave mine on the spool. If you want to cut yours off, I would cut off about 9 inches or so. You might need a little bit more depending on what your hands need for tying. And I just do my loops and I make my bow, hold the center, pull the legs. That way my center doesn't come too loose and I can tighten it. So I can continue to work this bow until I'm pretty happy with the appearance of it. And I kind of want a little bit of a larger bow. I'm going to clip that off. Turned out good. And I have a lot of people ask me about making bows. They just take a little practice. I do a lot of them, so they're not too bad, I don't think. All right, picking up a glue dot, also known as a booger. Yuck, I know. All right, and then we're going to slide this right under the banner here. Gonna hide our little knot, give that a good push down. Cute. And that, I love that, just that little splash of fresh freesia on there is so pretty. All right, got to put some bling on there. Let's add a little bling-a-bling. So let's pull in our brushed brass butterflies. Love these. If you guys haven't used these yet, they're wonderful. I love that they're such a low profile. I don't know if I can show this on camera very well, but they're super skinny, like so thin. So you could add a whole bunch of them to your project and not add any bulk, which is great for popping this in the mail. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to put a little butterfly on his nose, right? It's a little friend coming in. That's his unexpected friend. Let's put that right there. Cute. So stinking cute. And then let's grab one of these big ones. We'll just put a couple more butterflies up here in the floral background. Sweet. So sweet. And we have it. We are done. So cute, right? So you've got this opens and then that opens and you've got a little place to write a note. If you needed more space to write a note, you could add a panel here in white, or you could make this not a full piece of designer paper here either. So you've got some options here. I'm a simple person when it comes to sending a card. My note is just my name, signed my name, or I do it on another piece of paper and put it in because a lot of times I want to allow people to use the card, reuse the card for their purposes. So anyway, kind of fun. I just think that's a neat way. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, this method of making his fur look furry with your Stampin' Blends. You'll give it a try. Yes? Okay, hands down. Oh, your hands would still be shaking from the tech issues? Oh, so not straight either. Yeah, I totally get that. You know, I try not to let that fluster me, but there were a lot of them this morning, and I even tried early to avoid them, but didn't work out. Oh, good. You love it? Good, good, good. Tina, I'm glad so much. Jean likes it too. Good. Oh, and your husband made you a bow maker. Nice, nice. I struggle with the bow makers a little bit. I think I've just done it this way for so long. I find it so much easier. I've tried the fork thing where you wrap it around a fork, and this just works best for me. So yeah, I think everybody has to find what works for them and make that their own, for sure. So perfect. All right, so do you want to see a sneak peek? I don't know if I'm allowed to show a sneak peek of these Easter Bunny cards for our class, but I'm going to show them anyway. I've got 3 of them. I don't have all 5 done, but I'll give you a quick flash so you can see the class, right? Here's one. Cute, cute, cute. Here's another. You can see where I got my color combination for today. And a third one, cute, cute, cute. So these cards are going to be fantastic, very spring oriented. They're not all Easter. So you don't get locked in. I think they'll be very versatile to use for a lot of things. So, all right. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you all so much for joining me today. If you've got any questions on anything and I missed answering them, please leave me a comment on the video and I will answer you. If you're enjoying the content and you're not already a subscriber, subscribe, and be sure to share it with your crafty friends so that they can come on over and join us on Tuesdays as well. Good. Oh, good. You like them. Yay. I think the class is going to be amazing. It's a talented group of demonstrators that come together to do Maker's Mojo, and we have a lot of fun. And I love doing these add-on classes each quarter as well. They're a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys will join us. Don't forget, it's celebration time. You can earn free products, exclusive products for every $50 you spend out of the celebration brochure. And if you don't know what that is this bad boy right here. Lots of fabulous items. This goes through the end of February. So sadly, we're more than halfway through our celebration period, right? There is also, if you've got a very long wish list, you want to take advantage of our starter kit special. You get $175 in the product of your choice. You have 2 starter kit options to choose from, or price points to choose from. One is $99. And that gets you the $175 in free product. One is $129. So if you add an extra $30, you can get yourself a mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. And you can choose this in white or boho blue, which is a sneak peek of one of our upcoming new colors from our annual catalog. Super exciting stuff. Oh, yes, the Crafty Yogi is part of the Maker's Mojo team. So yeah, it's myself, Anne-Marie Heil from Stampin' Ann, Audra Monk from the Crafty Yogi, Melissa Kerman from Melissa's Crafting Treehouse, and Joe Blackman from Joe Blackman. She kept it simple, and I love it. I love it. So Joe's from the UK, and I love Joe. Love Joe. Love all the ladies. They're a lot of fun to hang with and do our events with. So hopefully you guys will join us for the Easter Bunny class. Again, it's there's a class kit. There's a PDF only tutorial. You can choose to add on the bundle if you want to. All up to you. And registration closes February 11th. So you want to get on that right away. All right. Thank you all so very much. And I hope to see you again next Tuesday for a little more crafty fun. And maybe I will try this this connecting to the event again. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it another day when it's not on my scheduled live. Do a test, right? All right. Thank you all. Have a great week. Bye.